Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm playing 1849, the game of Sicilian railways. So we made it through the first operating round, start another stock round. Until now we have two companies operating, the SFA sitting here and the CTL up here. And none of them obviously already paid out. An issue is that the next company to get started will be the IFT, and nobody is really eager to do that. So this guy might have the money to start. I mean, he definitely has the money to start the company. You only need 20%. But to do that in a reasonable way, let me see how much money we need to buy a few trains at the beginning, or at least one. 90 for the tokens. One for the train is 190. So that's what you need to start the company. So yeah, he could do it. He could buy easily the 2 shares for 100 and then start the company there. But we've already seen that this is a problem. You definitely want to go into the second or into phase 6 when the C6 train comes out. To be able to make your way here, but even that's a problem because this guy controls the company, and as long as that company is not purchased, so by a large company, so basically as long as this company operates in this area, you're not allowed to place a tile there. That means this guy will be stuck here and cannot really break out here, and it's going to be super expensive to lay track here. I've explained that already in my in the first video here. So that is not a great company at the beginning of the game. On the other hand, someone sooner or later must start that. So it's kind of question. This is really an issue, and I'm not sure how it's going to resolve. Okay, so one thing is for sure, this guy will pass because he doesn't have enough money to buy a share. This guy will buy a share of the CTL for 90 bucks. The company will make the most money right now. And so these two guys invested in the other players' companies. It's interesting to see that the company which will make more money right now, the CTL, for example, this guy invested he bought only 1 share of the CTA, but 2 of the SFA. And also he kind of purchased one of both companies. The reason is this is a company that the owner might want to dump already at that point. Especially if these two people would have purchased 2 more shares out of the company, then there would have been only, I don't know, only 20% left in here, or maybe even less, if someone would have bought the last share here. That is not a good thing because the revenue for these shares goes into the company. So if many shares are sold out from here, it's not great. Wait a minute, there should be 40% left in here. Technically, in addition to that, this is kind of a potential. If the share value rises, you can sell these shares for a higher value, and therefore that means more money goes into the company. So you don't want to sell the shares from the treasury too early in the game, because then you get less for it. In addition to that, there are already 2 trains purchased here, and let's say he wants to get rid of his company. He could buy more trains, move the game into phase 6, which then allows him to sell his private company also into here, and then he would be allowed to place a tile here, so he could actually then start this company and make his way up to Messina. So therefore, I would have probably dumped the company on one of these guys if they would have taken the risk to buy 20%. This company seems less risky though, so he purchased 20% here. There is only a single train here, and also only 40% left in the treasury, but still the fact that there's only a single train here, and also the fact that the owner of the company does not have a company, doesn't have a private. He has that private which will close right now, so oh, actually it does already. That should be closed because the company purchased a train. So therefore, yeah, it's basically harder to strip the company off, and it's not that risky that way. So we go into the operating round, and I guess we're gonna see some track lay here. So it's basically this one. We go to Licata. Oh no, it's not actually. We need this one here. Oops. There's a town here. So there we go. And then we can simply start running the 4 train here. Well, we don't make that much money, obviously. We only run these 2 hexes. Remember, these are hex trains. We make 30 bucks and we pay out the revenue, which is sadly not enough to then to increase our share value, but at least we don't lose any share value either. Well, I forgot to operate the private companies, but I did that now, so fine. Do I want to buy a second train here? And I could start here and then make a run to here. And with the other guys I could run that, but I don't know. You know, I think I'm actually going to buy a second train here now. Maybe I should have... No, yeah, I'm going to buy a second train for 100. Simply because in the next turn, if I place a token here, when this is connected, I can run both trains, one from here to here, and the other one like this, and I would gain a revenue of 100, and that would allow me to actually increase my share value. So I think it's kind of important, therefore, that I get a second train. Okay, so then it's the CTL operating. They lay track here, and they're gonna lay a token, and these tokens are now free because they were already purchased. They're gonna lay that token here. So they're going to operate here for 40 and another 30, so that's 70. Sadly not enough to increase the share value, but at least it's some money. So the CTL is actually considering to buy a third train. That's a big move, you know, it's $200, and at that point the company would be not exactly out of money, but they're really, really short. And you know, these trains will not run forever, especially not these two. On the other hand, in a way they nearly have to, because this company will make more money on this route. 70, that's what they gain right now, will not be enough to increase their share value. So if they buy a third train and then lay track here, for example, they could run the 3 trains. It would not give them an incredible amount of money. They would make 30 here, another 40, and another 30. So they make exactly $100 then. But that's enough to increase their share value, at least for now. In addition to that, the green tiles will be available, and that might give him the option in the near future to sell the company here to these guys, and then he might even consider to start the IFT, because then he would be allowed to lay track like this. He could upgrade Catania into green. So on the other hand, it would also allow the others to do that. But he has control at what point of the game this company will be sold. And before that happens, it's kind of questionable if other people are really interested to start here in Catania. I mean, they might. It's a good space if it is upgraded to green. But there is still the problem that it's hard for them to get out here. In addition to that, it's an interesting protection against other people buying more shares of this company, because it is it is really short in money, and but it will make good money. So as long as these 40% are sitting here, the company will get a good amount of money. $40 per turn or something, which is neat. And but as I said, it's kind of questionable if other people are willing to take the risk and buy shares of the company, because then this guy might consider dumping it on somebody else. So I think I'm gonna buy that 6th train here. Although I cannot really run all the hexes, obviously, right? It's a little sick, but I kind of decided to run this company hard already by placing the token here. So I might as well say, okay, you know, now I'm really going to go for it. I mean, I think I'm going to roll a die, actually. On a 1 to 4, I will do it. Okay, yeah, so I will. I bought that trade. So everybody passed. These two guys thought about starting a corporation. They can do it, selling the shares and then start their own corporation. But there's a problem with that. As we've already said now a few times, the IFT is not a good corporation. This guy makes a good amount of money out of his 2 privates, and these companies are not a bad investment. Both players don't have too much money in hand, though, so they are not in a situation where they say, I cannot spend any money And so, for example, if they would gain, if this guy would now have more money, and maybe then he would do it, because he can basically, nobody can buy a second share of the CTL. I mean, there's still the option to invest in the SFA. So I don't know, maybe these two are happy being investors right now. So we don't see any trades going on. That means we come into the next operating round, and we're going to see now 2 operating rounds per per cycle. As expected, the SFA laid a token, laid a tile here, and they're going to place a token here in Terra Nova, and that allows them now to run the 2 trains. One goes like this for 40, the other one is then another 20, 30, 50. So he makes $90. And he pays out, and that is enough to actually increase the share value, at least because he's equal to his actual market value, but only one time. He needs more money. He needs a higher revenue. Maybe he can get that by placing a tile here. 1, 2. Well, it's probably not good enough, because the train here, I don't think he can get that. Well, but if he goes here, he could, because the train here, that would cost the train 2 movement points to go there, and then he cannot reach this city twice anymore. But if he, for example, goes here, he could run one train like this, and then the other one like this, and then I think that's then gonna be, well, he might even be able to, 1, 2, he can even go to here. Yeah, so there is definitely an opportunity to make a, to continuously make a solid run, which will increase the share value. Okay, it's the CTL then. They're going to lay a tile here, and that allows them now to run the 3 trains they own. So that's going to be 30 and 40 and another 30. So they make $100. They're also going to pay out, and also their share value rises now. So we come to the second operating round. The private's already paid out. We're going to lay again track here and run the train. So now it is 30, 50, and that's 90, 100, that's 120. That is a pretty good run. By the way, these arrows into the harbors, into the ports, they count as a hex, basically. So the CTL also runs for 100. They can basically make, they can run the 6th train here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the other 2, 4 trains between these cities. That gives them 100, and then the next turn they're going to be able to upgrade Palermo, and then they can place a token there, and that will increase the revenue quite a bit. And of course they also pay out. So we go to the next stock round. This guy will clearly buy a share, oops, of the SFA. Oh shit, the money should actually go into the company. I always tend to forget that. There we go. And, well, is he going to buy a share of his own company? It's often a questionable thing to do, but he might. He holds only 30%. It's a solid company, so I think he does that too. So it's 111. Oh, and into the company. Now what about him? It's interesting. There is now this last share in the company. Does he want to buy that? Maybe. It's not a bad thing to do. The company seems pretty safe. I'm not under the impression that... yeah, I think I want to do that. I think I want to buy that share. Hold now 30%, but I guess that's fine. To buy that share, I'm going to have to sell this one. So that means the value drops. That's bad for these guys, obviously. And on the other hand, the thing is, if this upgrades, it will go to 90. And then this company will make a lot of money, the CTL. So selling that share might not be the most clever thing. On the other hand, other option would be buying shares of the CTL itself. So let's wait with that. How risky a thing is that? Hard to tell. Makes a good amount of money. So this guy sells a share of the CTL, although it will make more money, but he just doesn't have a good feeling buying this. He's a very conservative player. He doesn't want to risk any company dump at that point, at least not from these guys. But he's willing to invest in that last share of the SFA. Okay, so this guy says now I'm going to start the IFT. He sells these two shares. For 222. And then he starts the IFT for 144. And he's willing to, so that means he's got to pay, let's see, he's got to, cannot afford 3 shares, but he's going to pay, he's going to buy 2 I think he's got to actually buy 3 shares, otherwise he can't do it, because the IFT, there we are, the tokens of the IFT cost 90 bucks. That's a lot. And so, yeah, you know what? I'm going to sell that too for another 106. And now I can buy, let me see, I can afford 3 shares of the IFT. I hope, at least. That's 300 for 20. 432 if I'm not mistaken. So everybody else passes. We're going to go through this set of operating round, I guess. So before I load this up, and yeah, first it's the IFT now operating, and they can now lay this track here. That allows them to go here. There's a good port here. You can upgrade that port to 80 with the Campagna Navale Mediterrana, and then they're actually not doing that bad. Can make a good run then. So yeah, that was their tile placement, and yeah, that's basically it then for these guys. And no, they got to buy a train, obviously, and they're gonna buy a single train for now for 200 bucks. And there we go, buy our 6th train here. Share value drops. CTL. So they're gonna upgrade. No, that's not. It's the SFA, the SFA that which go first. Let me see what I can do with these guys. Might consider going here, or I'm making my way into this direction here. I mean, if Catania, problem is I have to go narrow gauge here. So I cannot easily make my way here to Catania. Of course, I could try to go here to Siracusa. Maybe that's a good idea. Place another. Yeah, if I go here, then I can upgrade this in the next turn, place a token there, and make a good run here to Catania, which will be valuable at some point. So that sounds to me like a neat idea. I think I want to do that. Yeah, I think I want to do that. So I'm going to lay a tile here for 160 bucks. By the way, I should have placed a, yeah, that's a mountain here. So I got to place a yellow cube here to remember that. Okay, so yeah, for 160 bucks, I'm gonna not, of course I don't have to pay that much. I only have to pay 40, or to pay 40, because it's a narrow gauge. So only a quarter has to be paid here. And I'm gonna use this tile and go to Siracusa. And I'm not allowed to place my token here right now, but I can upgrade this into... Oh, fuck. It's only a single dot. Ah, I cannot go there then. Well, then that doesn't make a lot of sense. So yeah, I think I'm not gonna follow this plan. If I cannot place a token here, then this is pretty much useless for me, because I will not make it then to Catania. But I think I'm gonna go this direction then. Maybe try to place a dot here, and then I have the option to either go toward Catania or Palermo. So I think that is probably a natural way to go for these guys. So we're gonna go narrow gauge for 10 bucks, which is not too bad. And go this way here, and run our 2 trains. So it's again, I think, I'm not sure what was it. Wait a minute, I can do that. Yeah, like this, exactly. That was basically 30, 50. 90, 100, 120. Okay, so Share value will rise, obviously. And I'm going to pay out. Okay, here's a problem. Actually, both companies will drop in share value because shares of both companies are here in the bank pool. And that means they will drop in share value. For the SFA, that's not so bad because all the shares are already sold. For these guys, it sucks. They're still 40% in here, and they are now pretty cheap. And that's definitely not a good thing. But at least if they pay out, they will also go back to 103, which isn't too bad. So I guess overall it's okay. I think I'm also going to buy another train here. If I make this connection here, I can run the 6th train here and these others here. So I guess that makes sense. $200 for the train. So we now also hold 3 trains in here. Maybe I should have done that before then. I kind of lost now $30 if you see it that way. That wasn't too clever, but well, okay. Yeah, it was pretty stupid. So then it's the CTL, and they're gonna upgrade Palermo, which now goes to 90, which is really high for the green tiles. And we're going to place our last token there. Because otherwise we could not even reach that. And now we're going to have a good run, I guess. 90, 100... And wait a minute, we can even take the port here. So that's 101. Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can go like this. I think that's okay. So that gives me 110. This is a 4 train, and then I can run this train with the other 4 train. That's pretty good. So that's 120 and 140 and another. Well, on the other hand, I could try to hit. No, I cannot hit this twice. You cannot only go from a city to a port. There has to be at least 2 cities or a city and a town. Otherwise, I could think about hitting Palermo twice, but that's not going to work out. So again, that was 110, 120, 140, and the other 4 train is going to run like this then. So that's going to be 180. 190. Wow, that's a massive run. That's really good. So we go to the second operating round now, and again the IFT operates first. They're gonna lay track here, and now I'm gonna sell the company. Well, actually I forgot to actually pay out the privates. Then I'm going to sell my private for basically all I have. That's 130, 40, 42, which is close to the maximum. Close enough. I'm going to have money. I'm going to have that money in the next stock round to buy shares, and so therefore I think these $8 are okay. It's not that bad. And I'm going to place that harbor marker, oops, well, the port marker, you can see that here, the other way around, it's a port. And we're going to place that here to indicate that this port is now worth 20 additional bucks, but only for this company. That's why there's a second marker here to mark that. Okay. And that's going to last for the rest of the game. So even if this Campania Navale is closed, this company will still get 20 additional bucks by going to that port. So then we're going to run our 6th train, and we're going to go for 40, 50, and another 80. So that's going to be 130, which means the share value will actually rise again. So that's pretty good, actually. 40, 50. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And we can upgrade Catania. We will make even more money. So I think that's okay for now. So the SFA pays. They might have to pay the full value. Yeah, they will, which kind of sucks. So, where do they want to go from there? Do they want to go that way, or do they want to go to Palermo? Palermo gives them more money, but Catania is closer. But it's also more expensive to get there. I got to cross these 2 mountains. If we go toward Palermo, it will be only this mountain, and then we can go there. So I think, well, first we got to pay the 80 bucks, which kind of sucks, but okay. So let's find a city here. There we are. That one? No, you don't want that one. You want this one, I guess. No, it's the other one. Yeah, it's actually, I think it's this one. Is it? Oh, don't tell me that city isn't there anymore. Shit. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, great, it isn't. I gotta find a city which upgrades to what I need. Oh, boy, that's not that great. I think actually, oh fuck, man. That means I gotta spend twice the 80 bucks. Oh man, this is bad. Shit. I didn't consider that. Why isn't that? Because I actually need this city. I need exactly this city. Maybe I should upgrade it first. That would save me some money. Is that really only there once? I find that hard to believe. I should be there twice, I guess. So this is the same. I mean, the others are there twice. Why isn't that one? Oh, come on. Did they really engineer it that way? Shit. Okay, so after looking for that tile for a while, I realized I didn't print it out. Great. So I had to print it out, and sadly the quality, this is clearly brighter than that one. But hey, there is nothing I can do about it. It's pretty obvious that it is. I guess it's time to order the game, right? It just yeah, it would be just a big advantage to have a really nice copy of the game. Anyway, it's playable. So yeah, they laid the tile here, and then we're going to run our trains. Okay, so we can run the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 4 train here for 50. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's another, that's 80, 100, 120, and then we can run the 6th train here We could even go further, but okay. So then it's 140, 150, and that's 170 in the end. So that is a pretty good run. And of course we're going to pay out. By the way, there was one thing I have forgotten. After the run train step, the companies can trade their shares. So if they have shares in the treasury like these guys, they can sell any number of shares up to 50% in the bank pool. And then they will simply receive the money, and after that the share value will drop. Or they can buy a single certificate back from the bank pool for the actual market price. But they may only do one of the two things, one of the two actions. So that company has bought back one certificate, and also this company has bought back one certificate. So there are only two left here in the last operating round that happened, and they will now buy back the second certificate that is in there for 103. So there we go. This gives them a nice little income, and if we want to buy it back, we can still do that. Okay, and then it's the CTL, last company of the operating round. And I guess they might want to go here so they can hit Palermo twice. I think that is the best they can do. So they pay 40 bucks. So let me see. Where do I want to go? Maybe I could go back here or something here with a narrow gauge train. Or do I want to go down here? Okay, so now we can hit Palermo twice, which is probably pretty good. We can use a 4 train to go like this, so that's 10, 100, 110. Then we can use the 6 train, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not so great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think I'm going to use then the... Oops. I think I'm going to use the 2 train then to go here. So that is then 210. And then the 6 train, 220. Another 40, so that's 260. 270. Yeah, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 270, which is really pretty good. And a lot of the money goes into the company. We have here 5 shares. So that is great for the company. And in addition to that, they're going to buy back that last share here. So we're at the end of the operating round, and I'm going to load this game up now. Going to come into the next stock round. Pretty sure this guy probably will start a new company, or that's not so sure. I mean, investing in his own company, I don't know. It's a very makes a lot of money. Well, I guess we'll see. Maybe you should sell this to get 40 bucks. Yeah, why not? He's gonna do that. That gives him Wait a minute. What the fuck did I just do here? No, just like this. $100 go in here. 60 bucks go into the company. And 40 bucks go to this guy. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna see the next stock round in our next video, and maybe then a few of the remaining companies will get started. Hope to see you then, or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.